Hey YouTube, welcome back to the kitchen. If you just got here from the prior video about making sloppy joes, we are going to be canning sloppy joes. I already have some made. If you have your favorite recipe, you can use that. We're going to be using pint jars. We're going to be using the jar lifter that you always need. We're going to be using the little magnet that comes with canning sets so that you can pick up your non-reusable caps. We're going to be using the reusable rings and a big pot of homemade sloppy joe mix. Since I already have everything kind of ready, the jars are hot and washed, the sloppy joe mix is ready, and the canning pot is heating up. I'll show you a trick about the little canning caps just to save you burnt fingers. I tried this year to not put them in warm water before I can with them, and I don't like the results I got, so I'm going to stick with my very old, decades-old habit of putting these in warm water before you can with them. Before you put them on the jars, I'm going to just warm them up in some hot water on the stove. The trick with these, they come in the box like that, stacked together, and you use the magnet to get them out of the water. If you get two like that out of the water, when you try to get them apart, there's a little vacuum seal thing that happens, and you get a little burst of hot water that will get on your hands and make you unhappy. So what I have decided over the years is to take them and put them in the water alternating. So you're going to go one facing up, facing down, that one facing down on top, that one facing up, so they're alternating, and then you have a better chance of getting them out of the water like that one at a time, and they slide apart rather than you having to try to pry them apart. So I'm going to put a bunch of these in water. I don't yet know how many jars I'm going to need. For this sloppy joe recipe that I made, it was 6 pounds of beef and a ton of tomato sauce, so you can check out that recipe in that prior video. Like I said, I will link the recipe at the end of this one if you want to see the actual recipe for this. I'm guessing, I'm hoping I might get 10 plus jars out of this, but again, I'm not sure. So let's start filling these jars, and you'll see how easy it is to make your own sloppy joes and put it in the pantry and have quick, easy lunches and dinners for your family to just pop open, and you know where the food came from, which is the best part, right? So I'm in my little tiny kitchen corner here with the hot sloppy joe mix on the stove, canning funnel, clean hot pint jars, and we're going to just ladle and make sure you get kind of an equal mix of liquid and meat. And we're going to ladle that in until we get to 1 inch from the top of the jar. So you want a 1 inch headspace for this. So I'm eyeballing that. That looks like about 1 inch. So we're going to roll with that for that one. And remember, your headspace is very important, especially on something like this with tomato and meat. Because if you get the headspace too shallow, like it says you need 1 inch, and you maybe go 3/4 or half, you will definitely risk siphoning, which is basically where the pressure in the jar gets too much. It will basically boil the food up and force it out under the cap that's on there that you want to have sealed down to the jar. And once you get food between the rim of the jar and the cap during that processing time, there is no way that that jar is going to seal. And if it does, it's going to be not, like an improper seal, so it won't be safe canned foods. Be very careful about your headspace, and if you're not good at eyeballing it, which I am not, grab a tape measure. And I think people have pointed out that there's a line on jars somewhere that is like, that's a 1 inch or that's a 1/2 inch. So, do what you need to do. I think I see a line on this. That might be the 1 inch line, now that I mention it. Learn something new every day, don't you? I will warn you, if you make your own sloppy joe, especially the recipe that I have in the prior video, don't share it too much, or you'll be making it all the time or giving the recipe out. Because if my husband ever takes this to work and shares it with the guys at work, they'll actually ask him for more. Can you bring more of that this week? Can we have more? Do you have more? And I had to say, no, I can't share any more out of my pantry, but here's the recipe, and it's super easy. If you've never made this, it's literally as easy as, brown the burger and spend 10 minutes simmering some ingredients into it, and I can promise you it's stuff you probably have in your pantry right now. So stop buying that, probably a packet or a hamburger helper or some kind of thing to make sloppy joes. It's just as easy to put in your own ingredients and season the meat, and you know where the food came from. And this is so good. I actually have a bowl of it sitting here. I'm just going to eat it by itself when I get done with this. I'm so hungry, and this is so yummy. Plus, how nice is it to just have a jar of this where it's, if the kids or whoever are hungry, like, hey, what's for lunch? We're hungry. Just pop one of these open. Then there's less cooking for you, and I'm all about that. One more thing to check before you put anything in these jars: make really, really sure that the rim of every single jar, especially if you reuse jars the way I do for decades and decades, make sure that that is completely unchipped and unblemished and perfect, because if it is not, your cap will never, you'll never get a seal. You just won't. And if you get, sometimes you'll get these things that don't seal like this, especially if you have meat or anything that's got any sort of fat content like this. Some of these, I've had them not seal occasionally. If that happens, you're having dinner tonight, like put it in the fridge or have it for lunch tomorrow. It's not a big deal. So if you're taking notes from the prior recipe, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, that prior recipe made 10 beautiful pints. So 6 pounds of beef made 10 gorgeous pints of Sloppy Joe, plus I have a bowl of it over there, so 10.5 pints. Okay, these are ready to get caps on. The next thing you want to do, especially if you're doing anything that has to do with meat or anything with fat content, vinegar, paper towel, get the paper towel damp with vinegar, and all of these jars you want to just get that rim squeaky clean. Again, because if there's any fat on there or any, ow, those are hot, any food particles or fat, you will not get a good seal on your jar. So just go around every single rim with that vinegar, like that. The next thing we're gonna need is to put on the caps. Take your little magnet jar cap lifter, pull one up out of the water. Look how nice that came up. And we're gonna put just one on, we're gonna put one on the middle of each of these and get those all ready. And once you have a cap on each one, we're going to do rings, and you just want to screw a ring on the top of each one, and you just want it to be finger tight. So go down to your meat resistance and just give it a little push past, but you're not trying to screw these on so tight. They're not going to seal because you put them on so tight. Just go to finger tight and just firm, kind of snug, but not, wrenched on there in any way. So you've got these all, caps and lids are all on. We're going to take the jar lifter and we're going to just take each one over to the canning pot and put them down in the water that's already hot in there. And because I have more than the 8 that fit down there, I'm going to just put a very old, pretty ratchet rack, and then we can put 2 more right here. And I don't want to tell you how many years, maybe / decades I've been canning before I realized you could double stack in your pressure pot. I would just put 8 in the bottom and wait, and then 8 in the bottom and wait. You can do double stacks in your pressure canner. So lid's going to go on, and we're going to process these at the right pounds of pressure for my altitude. You need to know what your altitude is to know what you need to do for yours, and these will process for 60 minutes. Once you put your locking lid on, we're going to watch for steam to come out of this little vent hole, and once that has vented for 10 minutes on high heat, we'll go ahead and put the little rocker on like that, and then we'll watch this pressure go up to that mark right there. I put a Sharpie mark on my 12 because I need 12 pounds of pressure, and then we'll leave that at 12 pounds of pressure for 60 straight minutes. And one thing to know about canning, if you watch that and your dial drops below the pounds you need, unfortunately you need to reset your time, get back to the right pressure and reset the time and start the timer all over. So if I went into this 20 minutes and it dropped too low, I would have to reset my timer, get it back up to 12, and then reset it for another 60 minutes. So be careful with the pressure gauge. I just bring a book and sit here and literally watch this pot boil. So I'm going to take that off because I need to let it vent first, and we'll see you back here in a very long time. And once the pressure is dropped altogether, I will crack the lid like this and let it sit for about 10 minutes just to let a little more of that heat escape from the jars before we take them out. And here you have some gorgeous jars, super hot still. We want to use our jar lifter and pull them straight up so you don't jostle or tilt them at all. And then I just take them straight over and let them sit on a towel, and I leave them undisturbed for about 24 hours to make sure that the seals are going to hold on those caps. And most of them look like they've already sealed in the pot, so we might be in luck and these all sealed, which would be great, because like I said, when you're doing meat, usually I'm not surprised if one doesn't seal just because of the fat content in these jars. And there you have 10 gorgeous pints of Sloppy Joes to put in the cabinet. I hope this inspires you to try canning this for yourself. It is so nice to just crack one of these open in the winter and have a quick meal and not have to be at the stove all the time making something delicious. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.